Hello to everyone out there, everyone who is watching this video out there. Yeah, it's Godmeal TV once again. Uh, Today I come with a new dimension to my videos. That is to discuss traveling issues, looking at immigration issues across the world and this issue of illegal immigrants that are being attacked in almost most of the countries around the world. Now, I just want to advise those who are at home now, who haven't left their home countries, who have not traveled outside their home countries. I just want to share some kind of experience with you, some of the things we overlook when we want to travel. Now, I know very well that due to the pressure, the frustrations we go on in our various own countries, I will call our own homes. We are found by, we make decisions just to travel outside the country with the hope of looking for a greener pasture. Now, when we are looking for greener pasture, there are a lot of times certain things that we do not take into consideration. Out of frustration, whatever opportunity that comes our way, we just grab it and then off we gone. Now, today I want to share some few things you have to look for if you want to travel outside your country. Now, if you are going out of your country, there are these three things I want you to put into consideration before you travel out of your country. One, I would like you to consider your age very, very well before you leave your country. Why do I say age? Now, if if you leave your country to another country, age plays a very big factor in your ability to secure a job. Why do I say that? Now, if you leave your home country to another country, if you get to that country, I can assure you there is no way you would get into that country within the first few years, especially the first 5 years, and then you get your green card. It's going to be a lot of work. Now, if let's take it for instance, you are already about 40 years when you leave in your country to another man's country or to a foreign country. Now, what happens is that when you get to that country, there are requirements you need to meet before you can get a green card. Now, if you don't have a green card or a residential permit in this country, you would not be able to work. So that would make you to find yourself in an area of doing what menial and awkward jobs. So until you get your resident permit or you get a green card in that country, or alternatively, let's call it an ID in that country, you wouldn't be able to do any good job. Now, I have an experience where some of my friends have to spend almost 10 years just to get an ID in the countries that they live in now. Now, that automatically means that you wouldn't be able to do any meaningful job. Now, if you are not doing any meaningful job, it simply means you will not be able to take care of your family back home. Now, why did you leave your home country to another person's country? If it's all about you alone, I know you wouldn't have taken that decision. But it is a dream. It's your intention to make sure that your people back home are taken care of. You have left home to make that sacrifice for them to benefit. Now, if you have left home and then you can't help them in any way, then your travel to the entire family has become useless. That is why I say age plays a lot of factor. If you are 40 and it takes you 10 years to get a permanent resident or to get an ID in the respective country that you have traveled to, it simply means that you are already 50 years, almost close to pension. And at the age of 50 and above, how many employees are willing to hire? Therefore, you might have wasted so much of your time. This has made a lot of people who travel abroad to become poor because they do not do their homeworks well. I therefore advise that at certain ages in your home countries, do not travel out. You better live where you are because you can make a better ends meet there. Now, the second one that I want to tell you about is education. Education. Now, there are a lot of people who have left their home countries without any form of education. If you leave your country without any form of basic education, be rest assured you are going to be a laborer for the rest of your life. The systems in which you go in or the new country that you enter, they have a planned system where jobs are given to qualified people. So if you don't have any good qualification and you have gone into such countries, be rest assured you would eat from hand to mouth. And these are certain things we have to avoid. It makes it difficult for people even to go back home because they don't have the financial muscle, they don't have the means to travel back home. And this is actually pathetic and appalling. In Italy, a lot of Ghanaians are left on the street, some looking very, very awkward and dirty because of improper inquiries or investigations before leaving their home country. So education is very important. Now, another side of education is you can have your degree, it's okay. But you need to investigate the country you're going to if the kind of degree you are holding is acceptable in that country. Not all degrees in your country is similar as the degrees in the other countries you're going to. Take for instance, if you are a doctor coming from West Africa, when you come to South Africa, UK, US, you are required to take an examination before you will be accepted into the system. In some parts of the world, you would have to reschool again, go back to school again to do the same program you have done for the past years. So you can see that the years you spent in your home country educating yourself has become a waste. If you have to restart it all over again, then that is actually a pathetic waste of time, pathetic waste of resources. So this has to be taken into consideration. Look at your area, the kind of degree you're having, look at it very well and see where you're going to if you'll be able to fit in. If not, then that is not the right destination for you to go to. Now, the last one that I want to talk about, it's about families or relatives. It is very tough to leave your home country to another country or a foreign country where you do not know anyone. If you do not know anyone, then you are going to suffer. Because in those countries, you need to be legitimate to be considered part of the people in the system. So if you have traveled to a country where you don't have any relative, any friend, any family in there, it simply means that your documentation is going to be very difficult. That is why we have too many illegal immigrants in most countries. Because some of the documentations you can only get it when you have a family member in there. If you have a father or a mother, it's very easy for you to attain any form of documentation in any country because you will be considered as a relative. If you have a wife or a husband there, that even makes it better because you are joining a relative. Therefore, it won't be too difficult for you to get documentations on time. But then many of us, especially in West Africa, due to the frustrations that we go through in the country, we just wake up in the morning and then off we gone. So far as we have any form of a visa, we do not even want to know what is going on in that country. All we want to do is to travel abroad without looking at the circumstances we're going to go through when we go to those countries. Therefore, I want you to think about this very carefully when you want to leave your country. Not too many people would pass this information on to us. Because to others, when you tell them, you said, if the place is not good, why don't you come back home? The answer is because you have already found yourself in a system where you can no longer go back home. It's tough. The people you have left behind, if you go back, they have done far ahead. They have gone far ahead than you, and it becomes a mockery. Sometimes you don't even have your own place to stay because you spend too much of your time or your days in a foreign land, and then what happens? You couldn't accumulate any wealth. You couldn't make enough money to build a house back home, to build your car back home. You don't even have a family back home. Therefore, going back becomes very difficult. I want to leave you people with this piece of message. I want to leave you with this piece of information that please, when you're going out of your country, do your homeworks very, very well. In that case, you'll find yourself comfortable wherever you're going. If you find this video, please share it to your families and friends who are willing or are thinking of traveling abroad, who wants to leave their homes to other foreign lands so that they can be able to listen to this video, watch this video and pick something out of it. I leave you with the blessings of the day, and I ask you to stay blessed and share love across the world. Thank you.